So what do you think? Are you meeting people where they're at? Are you dragging them into where you are? What's the situation? Whether you meet them where they're at or you bring them in, we have a tendency to cut out two-thirds of the opportunity to really do something great. So if you're going to where they're at or you're bringing them in, be sure you look at all three levels of the way you attract, of the way you deliver your stuff. Hi there. For those of you who have not yet met in person, my name is Amber Griffiths, and I am a maker of legends and a brand strategist. So it's Thursday, it's that time again. It is time to grab your legend pack, crank those speakers to 11. Welcome to Legend. Are you reaching your people where they are, or are you bringing them into where you are? When we start creating our business, when we're just in the very beginnings of it, and often this debate comes back multiple times throughout our business career when we're putting our brand out there and really getting excited about the content that we're creating, we often have this debate. Are we meeting our people where they are, or are we bringing them into where we are? And we think about it when we are talking about getting traffic. And we're really good about that, right? If we want to work with businesses, we go to where they're networking, we go to their groups on social media, we put our stuff in front of them, and we talk about how we get in front of where they are, we go to where they are generally habitating, and we bring them in to where we're at. But we want to go where they already are, because then we're in their natural path, we're in their natural state of being. And we talk about it a lot when we talk about traffic. But we lose sight of that when we start talking about how we are delivering and the awareness levels of our clients. So someone asked me a really great question the other day about lead magnets. And we got into this great conversation about how you can deliver where your audience is, and not really like as a whole, like all the masses, but individually. So for example, if someone comes to you because they saw a video, they saw a Facebook Live, they saw you on a stage somewhere that was a replay of a video, chances are their preferred way to consume content is through video. If they read an article on LinkedIn or on Medium and they reach out to you that way, their preferred way to interact with you is probably through the written word. And for some people, their preferred way is to consume content is through podcasts, audio. Now, it used to be that we as course creators would create courses in one platform. And we would say, we're meeting the audience where they're at, because look at all this content. It's going where they are. We're going to put it out there where we know they're already hanging out. But really, clearly, when we do it that way, no, we're asking them to come consume it in our way on our level. And what we're seeing shift on a global landscape is that course creators are starting to offer their courses with a video component, an audio component, and a transcription or a written word component. People like to have it all the ways. There are people who will watch the video but make sure they have the transcript come up, the subtitles, because they don't have their earbuds, or they don't want to mess, they don't want to listen to it out loud, but they want to still consume it in all the ways. Things are changing all around us. And that question still remains. Are you meeting your people where they are at? Or are you bringing them into you? So just briefly, we're going to talk about two different ways to consider beyond how are you getting traffic? What is your persona? What is your brand saying that you should be doing? How are you delivering content, creating content in a way that is completely brand aligned? In persona, this is a really good opportunity for you to assess, is your stuff old? Is it coming across as outdated? Do you need to be offering an audio version or a transcript? If you are running some kind of a group program, is it all strictly video? Is it all strictly audio? Or is it all, here's the transcript, or here's the written word, here's a workbook, go do your stuff? Or is it a combination of all three? One of the ways that it starts feeling outdated and not necessarily in complete alignment with you is if it's only delivered one way. I'm working with some clients on this right now, some of my higher end clients. It's really critical to be in alignment with your persona when you're creating content. And it's going to make a huge difference to them and their business when we start we're just adjusting their systems and making some of these updates to their framework. So for example, if you're saying that you're all about serving all the people all the time and your stuff isn't delivering in all the ways, it's actually a disconnect. It's a out of alignment with who you really are. Think about that for a second. Are you delivering content in a way that is completely brand aligned? If that is going to the people and saying, here's the things, here's the written, here's the audio, here's the video. Or is it very 2018 saying this is the way the world is when clearly we have moved on, we are moving forward? Right now, people are wanting it in all of the forms, even if they don't consume it in all of the ways. There is a desire, there is a demand to have it all the way. Now, does that mean you can't post a video without a transcript available? No, 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 absolutely not. Get the video up, but it does get to be a priority for you to do the other ways. And the really great news is if you already have the video, you strip the audio, there's that part, and then you send the rest of it to a transcription service to transcribe. Right now, like there are services out there that can do this for 17 bucks an hour. So send it to them. And if you need some of that, just reach out, just drop a note. I'll make sure you get that link. Yes, there are going to be errors, but mostly the people reading it are going to get past the grammar. They are not your grammar police. They're going to be just fine. So think about how you are delivering it, and are you delivering it to them where they're at, or are you requiring them to come in and consume it where you are at? Now, the other thing I want you to consider is, are you delivering it in a way that not just where they are geographically, not where they are on social media, but where they are in relationship to their awareness? It is there's so many missteps to creating a lead magnet. And did you know, by the way, most people don't actually do anything with the lead magnet that you give them. Um, they download it, and that's awesome because we are collectors of free things. We are collectors of the stuff. But chances are, your people, and I know you probably have one of these too, you have a folder somewhere in your email or on your hard drive, somewhere in your system. You have a folder where you put all your free stuff, all of your outside trainings, all of your free lead magnets. But chances are, because this is how most people do this, they download it, they get into your system, they don't actually open it again. Or they'll open it, but they won't actually complete it. And it's not because they're lazy, and it's not because it's their fault at all. It's because when we create those lead magnets, we miss some of the really important steps. And it's not just lead magnet, it really is with all your content. But when you are putting something out there for people to consume and appreciate and enjoy and love, there's a couple things that you can consider right at the very beginning that are going to make it more successful. And that's one of these things as far as your delivery. Are you delivering in a way that speaks to their level of awareness? Do they know that the problem you are solving, that the challenge you are resolving, do they know that that's even a thing? Do they know that it exists? Do they know that there's a pancake shortage, and when you start telling them about how you have all the pancakes and you can deliver it right to their door and it's only this much for this month, do they even know that there's a pancake shortage? Do they care? Does it apply to their life at all? Are they aware of it? And it goes all the way through to, yes, I'm aware that there is a pancake shortage and you are the person, and now is the time and I must jump on this all the way there. The problem is we often think, well, I'm delivering it to where they are. I put it in their group, I put it in their face, I got it to their email, I got it to their LinkedIn, but we don't consider the content of, am I addressing them and talking about it in a way that makes sense to them based on their level of awareness? If you start talking to people about how critical this is and how you are the person to resolve this issue for them, and they don't even know that that problem exists, your content, your message, right over their heads, right? It's not because they're bad people, and it's not because you did it wrong. You just forgot to take into consideration their level of awareness. Similarly, if you start talking about the basics, saying, if you're going to create this house, here's the 5 things you have to have. And these people are already master construction people and already know all that stuff. They're going to look at that and go, well, then I don't need you. Even if your solution really can change their life in dramatic ways, if you don't speak to them and address them in their level of awareness, it's a missed opportunity. It's a swing and a miss, really. Now, the great news about that is when you're careful about it, when you think about there's 5 levels of awareness. And when you address each one of those, you really can create content that addresses all of them. The trick is to speak to them specifically and not just, hey, if you need some help on this, come and get me and I can help you no matter where you're at. Because they're going to look at that and go, well, then clearly you can't help me because you're helping all the other people. So when you are creating content, when you are sending out a Facebook Live, when you are creating a lead magnet, a tripwire, an opt-in, when you're sending out email, all your stuff, all your brand assets, be sure you are going beyond consideration of, am I meeting them where they're at in terms of getting traffic? Are you meeting them where they're at as far as delivery? Are you meeting them where they're at in their awareness levels? Those are two huge pillars of creating that content and that connection that can make or break all of your content. It can bring in the people you're actually looking for, or it can bring in people that you're like, that's not exactly what I wanted, and yet you go back and look at your content, and that's exactly how you spoke. So take a day, take just, I don't know, take 20 minutes today and go back through and look at the most recent post you sent, the most recent email. Who are you speaking to? Are you delivering in a way that reaches them where they are? If they reached out to you via email and you send back a video, it might miss on the delivery because they are written word. They're going through email. If it's kind of like when people ask you, what's the best way for me to contact you? And you say text and then they email you. Or you say email and then they send you a message via Facebook. It's not like it's not going to, it's probably going to hit sort of, it's going to just graze. But there's going to be this disconnect of, well, I really like my stuff this way. And not because they're going to consciously think, and you didn't do that, but there's going to be that slight disconnect of, oh, well, she said she really cared about people, but then she didn't give me the stuff that I wanted in the way that I wanted. And she's talking over my head or she's talking below my feet. So go back through your most recent course that you created, a challenge, micro course, webinar, whatever that is. How are you delivering it? Is it still 2019 and here's my video, enjoy? Are you doing all the things because that's what all the people want? Take a look at the most recent thing. Drop me a note. Is your stuff updated? This is a perfect time to make sure your persona is showing up, that it's in alignment, and that everything is moving you and your clients forward at the pace that makes sense to them where they're at now. So drop me a note. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what questions you have. I would love to see your most recent lead magnet. Let's see where it's going. Let's see where it's being addressed. Let's see if is it all the things to all the people? Or are you really speaking specifically to one type of clientele, one specific audience, one specific person? Until I get to see you next time, live and in person, rock on.